Hey guys, Rapido here. I want to show you guys a little bit of nostalgia. This is literally before the 2.4 gigahertz. I paid $250 for this. I was thinking it was 300, but that was 20 years ago. I'm sorry. Due to the date. I bought it back in 2004. This is a anybody old school knows who this is. They don't make them anymore. Somebody bought them and they went bankrupt and all this and that. Well, back in the day, I had remotes that had crystals. Anybody remembers those? Remembers you had to keep multiple channels of crystals. This I bought every month before I put it away. This was really the top of the line, bad to the bone thing here. This thing here was crazy. Had a 10-mile long antenna. But hey, that thing there, back in the day, when it was the first crystallis, this thing already ran the 26 megahertz and the 76 megahertz. The 27 megahertz and the 75 megahertz. It did both. This thing here, you can actually change the channels instantly. If you went to a track and somebody was running on something, you can just change it over. This was the original. I paid a lot of money for that originally, a few months before I put it away. I was actually hearing that they're going to switch over from the megahertz to the gigahertz. Months before I did this, I still bought it because it was, man, this thing was bad. The trigger, everything just, JR made a really wicked transmitter back then. XS3 Pro. This thing was wicked. Transmitter, or the receiver, I'm sorry. And of course, somebody stepped on my channel. For some of y'all that don't like the 3 miles long antenna, like so, I had this 3 miles long hanging out of my buggy. I just put 4 tanks through my buggy, and it was the first time I was running it. I went out there, I set on my channel. Somebody came out there, did not go to the guy that was running the track and let him know what channel I was running, or he was running. They stepped on my channel and they launched my buggy out through the fence, out through the parking lot, bounced off the windshield of a car, cracked the windshield of the car. It standed upside down and redlined until I was able to run down and grab it. I ran out there and stuck my finger. On the exhaust pipe and choked it out, but it damaged my engine. Anybody that's ever had their channel stepped on and destroyed a brand new engine knows why. But this was the second time I ran it. It got hung up on the fence and broke. It snatched the antenna, shorted it, kind of broke it. Just the receiver, it came with that. But this is very old now. The funny thing is, I don't know if I'll show it. You can actually, with a screwdriver, adjust your channels. It's actually really cool. It's first, second. You can actually adjust your channels and everything back then. You just took a little screwdriver and adjusted it. Come on. You actually pick your first and second number. You pick those two there. And after you did that, you went into here and adjusted it. Click, 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 click. This is the original paperwork. I looked at it one time. I learned how to adjust it. 3-channel 10 model memory, synthesized FM. This was really hot stuff back then. Now it's a joke. Now it's ridiculous. But you literally can set it to channel 1 through 6 with 27 megahertz. 61 to 90 with 75 megahertz. So depending on where you set it, it was depending on what megahertz it was. Your XS3 Pro radio system will only operate either on 27 or 75 megahertz, depending on the model purchase, not both. While in system mode, there is no RF output being generated by the XS3 Pro. This thing back then was, this was hot stuff. It was really high end back then. This was really nice. I had fun with it. It worked great. I literally used this for 3 months. Paid $250 plus tax. I used it for 3 months. This thing was freaking awesome. It came with this wheel. I didn't put that on there. It came with it. This thing was, man, just to feel that wheel. The trigger, effortless. This thing back then was high end. I'm probably still going to try to use it. As I put my Mayhem up, I'm going to try to power it up and use it. I'm hoping there's nothing in the area that's going to step on it and cause me problems. Like when I first got it, somebody stepped on my channel and caused me problems. I cannot get another one of these. This is pinched here, so I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to run it as far as I'd like. But I'm going to try it out anyways. This was a lot of money back then. A lot of money back then. I got it and I put it away because my family needed me. So it became not a necessity. But that's how hobbies do. That's how hobbies go. You know, hobbies are for fun. Just to occupy our minds and everything. Sometimes hobbies get in the way. But that remote right there was crazy wicked back then. Nowadays it's a joke. Oh, that's old school. It's garbage. That thing was, garbage. It didn't do this. It didn't do that. It didn't play your Xbox for you. It didn't play your PlayStation for you. But back then, that thing right there was crazy, 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 crazy. It was wicked. It really was. For the few months I ran it, it was wicked. I had a lot of fun with it. Somebody like me that could afford something like that back then. But, I worked a lot of hours to get that thing. That was a high-end piece of equipment back there. Nowadays, it's just is what it is. Then you go buy a $60, $70 2.4 gig with XD5 or D5X or whatever it is now. That'll still work. Back then, if you wanted something that worked really well, you paid a lot of money for it. The difference between 20 years and now is a big difference. But I just wanted to show you guys this old model I had here. This thing's an antique now, which is kind of disheartening. Considering how much I paid for it back then, how proud I was of this. I was very proud to buy this. It was something that was kind of high end, something you're very proud of, and then kind of tuck it away because life gets in the way. 20 years later, and who knew it wouldn't be worth nothing? Yeah, right. Sorry, guys, my sciences are wrecked. Man, they're wrecked. But I just wanted to show you that was JR is not even around anymore. They killed the name. I don't know why. There was something with some lawsuit or bankruptcy or something. Back then, JR was a hype. JR was the big hype. JR Racing was a really big name back then. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. I wish they'd bring the JR brand back out and actually start making some good stuff out of it like they did back then. That thing was cool. I know a lot of you young cats are looking at it, it's like, man, that thing's so freaking old that looks like a Pinto. That looks like a Ford Pinto. That ain't look nothing like what we use nowadays. That looks like garbage. Back then, that was high end stuff. It really was. It was fun. It was comfortable. I mean, just the balance of it. I know it looks big here, it looks big here. Once you put the batteries and stuff in it, the balance was crazy. It's big. This whole thing is really big, but it's balanced. It really is balanced when you put the batteries in here and you're just out there. It's just fun. I want to show you guys that, it's just something I played with, 20 years ago, 22 years ago, whatever, 21, 20, 18. No, it was like 20 years ago. That was something that was really good from my past. It was really cool. It was really cool. Really was. It's just nostalgia for me. I want to show you guys that. But anyways, you guys have a good night. Later.